Welcome back to another episode of the Championship Rounds. It's a little bit different this time because it's just me and my boy Grogu over here. The reason for that is because Jonathan is out of town right now. He's in a place I like to call Cornville, more commonly referred to as Nebraska, but that's besides the point. I'm going to try to keep this one somewhat short and sweet. This card kind of snuck up out of nowhere. It's an alright card. Alright, so kicking off our first fight of the night, looks like Tyson Pedro versus Anton Turkalj. I'm pretty sure this Anton guy is 0-2 in the UFC so far, if I'm not mistaken. And Tyson Pedro just wins, man. He just wins. And we're in Sydney. He's got the hometown advantage. Just look at the tattoos, man. This one is honestly a no-brainer. Granted, the odds seem to be showing that they're somewhat even. Honestly, you didn't expect that. This guy's 0-2 in the UFC, and Tyson Pedro is a smasher. I don't got a lot of faith in my boy Anton here. Like I said, 0-2. That's a rough start to the UFC. I'm assuming he's gonna be on his way out if he does not get this dub. He's in a must-win situation though, so he's only 27. Those were his only 2 losses, UFC caliber opponents. But with that being said, Tyson Pedro will probably finish him. I'm gonna go second round TKO. All right, on to our next fight of the night. Justin Tafa, another big smashy boy. Again, hometown advantage. We're out here in Sydney. Heavyweights hit hard. This is just obvious. This guy, Austin Lane, is 6'6". However, this is actually a rematch, albeit not really. Their first fight ended in an eye poke in like 30 seconds, maybe, into the first round. So not really much of a fight happened, but they're running it back. You know, got to make sure we see who's the better fighter. Had that fight not ended in an eye poke, however, I do think Justin Tafa would have won this fight. Not to say Austin Lane is bad by any means. It's just these big Samoan guys, they hit hard, man. And skill for skill, it usually doesn't matter. When they connect, it's a wrap. So that being said, for the second pick of the night, I'm going with the hometown advantage. Let's get it, Justin Tafa. All right, third fight of the night. Coming in at a heavy -420 favorite, we got Manel Kape versus Felipe dos Santos. I believe Dos Santos is making his UFC debut, and he's only got 7 fights in his entire professional career. Making your debut against Manel Kape is a hard ask. Manel Kape is probably one of the best flyweights on the roster. He's on a 3-fight win streak right now. He was actually supposed to be fighting Kai France tonight, although Kai France pulled out. I'm not sure for the exact reason. I'm assuming an injury. He had some choice words to say to Kai France at the press conference, and then him and Adesanya actually got into it for a second.
Actually, Kai France is a bitch. The fucking bitch is in front of me. And you are fucking guilty because Sunday, this kid's gonna get murdered. You know? Because you
hey,
fucking
calm down.
You fucking pussy.
Felizmente ele é uma vadia.
Afraid because,
Não, é uma
you
vadia.
get accused. You have 3 weeks to fight me. You little fucking pussy. Look at you. You have the courage to come here. Stage. Yes, stand up, motherfucker.
Let's
stand the fuck up. Stand the fuck up, motherfucker. What you want? What you want? What you want to? What you want? All right, yeah. Shut the fuck down. Sit down. Your things is with Strickland. Sit the fuck down. Sit the fuck down. Sit the fuck down, you.
Little crack ass.
Sit down, bro.
Tight ass car was giving you a brain.
Sit the fuck down. Sit the fuck down. What the fuck? Bitch ass what? Sit the fuck down, you.
Look at this little midget trying to fuck with me. I will fucking bury you.
What the fuck you are? What the fuck you are?
He's got a lot to prove, man. You know, if you're 5'5", trying to square up with the fucking middleweight champion of the world, you got some balls on you. So I'm expecting a finish. The odds makers are also seemingly expecting a finish. I'm going to go second round TKO, get the feels out. You know, he's in enemy territory. He was supposed to be fighting Kai France, who I'm going to assume is going to be in the crowd. You don't want to lose on Izzy's card. So yeah, I'm going Manel Kape on this one. It's a red corner kind of night. -420. Yeah, lock it in. All right, co-main event. Tuivasa, Bam Bam, Tuivasa versus Alexander Volkov. This motherfucker Volkov is tall, 6'7", no joke. Funnily enough, still has 4.5-inch shorter reach than John Jones though. Wild. I might make a few people upset with this pick. I want Tuivasa to win. Hear me out. I want Tuivasa to win this fight, but Volkov has statistically shown he is good in this fight. You know, he's got the reach advantage. got the height advantage. He did good against Jairzinho Rosenstrike. He did very good against Derek Lewis up until the last 11 seconds of the fight, albeit still got knocked out, but game plan was working. He does good against this type of fighter. Tuivasa isn't particularly dynamic in the striking. He doesn't wrestle. He got dynamite in his hands, and if he lands, he will put Volkov out, but it's just a matter of if he can connect that shot. Where's his cardio at? He will be at home, you know. He did knock out Stefan Struve, but Volkov is much better than Stefan Struve. This is just a really bad matchup for Tuivasa. And like I said, I hope he wins this fight. But if you're putting money on it, I'm saying go Volkov. That reach is going to be quite the advantage. And the striking, honestly, skill for skill favor is probably in Volkov's favor. If anything, Tai just has the power. So yeah, like I said, if your money's on it, go Volkov. All right, our main event of the evening, man. Israel Adesanya, the last fucking style bender versus Sean. Sean, he's funny. He's an okay guy. He's not an okay guy. He's pretty fucked up. But I get it. You know, he had a fucked up life. Do what you gotta do. Say what you gotta say. That being said, like Adesanya said, water is wet. I think he's gonna finish Sean Strickland. But do not be surprised if this is a 5-round snooze fest, because it is very highly likely if Adesanya cannot knock out Sean Strickland, it will be probably just a boring standoffish fight. But I do think Adesanya has something to prove now. I think him losing that belt to Pedro did something for him. You know, it showed him vulnerability. It reignited something. It's like, I was a finisher. Then he started being a little boring. You know, the Cannonier fight and the Vittori fight wasn't particularly exciting. Robert Whittaker fight, second one, still ended in a decision, but it was interesting nonetheless. Sean Strickland cannot be UFC champion. I don't even think the UFC wants him to be champion. I mean, the odds also show that they don't believe in him. Granted, the UFC doesn't make the odds, but still. Sean Strickland just says some wild shit, man. And I think he deserves the bread. I think he should get high-profile fights, but he just is not in Adesanya's league. And his biggest strong suit is his striking, and it's not as good as Adesanya's. Trust me, it's not. Adesanya on his worst striking day probably is still more elite than Sean Strickland. I think Adesanya's a better athlete, in better shape. He's got the reach advantage. He's got the height advantage. He's got the skill advantage. Sean Strickland, I do think earlier in his career was a wrestler. And hopefully he does employ that in this fight if he wants to really win. But I think Sean Strickland is about more putting on a show. And I think he's going to go out there and just do what he does and say what he says, and hopefully he can make it a competitive fight. But I think Adesanya is just so many levels above Sean. I don't think this is a good fight for him. I think even his coach Eric Nixick said this is a terrible matchup for Sean Strickland, and he's honest about it, but it's true. There's not much more to say. I mean, I think Izzy is gonna just make a statement. This fight wasn't even really supposed to happen. You know, Izzy wanted this fight to be against Dricus du Plessis, which would have been great, but I knew if Dricus won that fight against Robert Whittaker, all the stars are supposed to align and he's supposed to fight on this card. No one's going to make that turnaround that fast. Now, we'll see if he still gets a title shot after this. He probably will. There's just really no one left for Adesanya to fight, hence why he's fighting Sean Strickland in the first place. But it is a bit disappointing. I think Adesanya is also a bit disappointed, but he may take out this anger on Sean Strickland. So all the factors lead to Sean Strickland not winning this fight. I mean, that's just all there is to say. I think if you're going to put your money on it, like I said, mostly a red corner kind of night. But yeah, go ahead and lock that pick in. I think if there's a lock of the night, Adesanya will be that. All right, and those are the picks. Like I said, short and sweet. Hopefully we can go 5 for 5. Have yet to go 5 for 5 in these videos, but I'm feeling pretty solid on this one. I've said that before, granted, but I do feel pretty solid on this one. Let's go 5 for 5. If it goes 5 for 5, please leave a like. And I just want to thank you if you made it this far. If you enjoyed, subscribe. Why not? It's free. So yeah, with all that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.